Hey there. We are coming at you today, not live, because for some reason, Facebook is not allowing us to go live in our Facebook group. So, working on figuring that out. I know Coach Lauren ran into this last week. So unfortunately, this is just pre-recorded, but the reality is I know you guys are all probably outside enjoying this amazing, beautiful day. First, I feel like truly spring feeling day in Minnesota. 70 degrees, I think, was the high for today. So pretty fun. We are loving it. Today, we're going to chat about, let me switch over to my notes here. Today, we are going to chat about the 80-20 rule in regards to our 5 pillar habits. So we are doing an April Adventures bingo challenge, and every single one, here we are. I've already got, what do I have? 7. I've got 7 marked off so far, working on the rest. Hopefully some of you guys are chipping away at it. What I want to do is help you guys focus on these 5 pillar habits. And so this April Adventures Bingo Challenge is really designed to do that, equally balanced in addressing each one of those things. So what are these 5 pillars of health? Mindset, in no particular order, nutrition, movement, relationships, and sleep. These are essential components, not only for a healthy lifestyle, but for a really balanced life in general. So how can we develop habits around these 5 pillars? Well, I want to talk to you about a principle, and that is the 80-20 rule. How do we use the 80-20 rule to apply and work on building balance in our lives using this 80-20 principle? So I don't know if you're familiar with the gentleman who developed this. It's called the Pareto principle. It was developed by a man named Wilfred Pareto. And he kind of observed this law or principle that 80%, of things happen by about 20% of the population. So we could dive, that's a whole deep dive in itself, but we have used this principle to apply to lots of other areas of life, and people have found really good success with it. And the reason for that is we struggle to not be all or nothing. It is a challenge to not feel like I either have to be perfect and I am walking the straight and narrow, or the wheels are coming off the bus. And that's not a fun place to be. It's not a fun place to feel like we have to be so restricted, we have to be so perfect, or just literally everything is just flying. So how do we use that 80-20 principle? Ultimately, what we're looking for is 80% of our nutrition. So let's break it down. Let's go through kind of those 5 pillars, thinking about mindset. Mindset is super important overall. It helps us with our attitude. It helps us with our view of the world. Having a positive mindset is super critical for healthy mental health. It can help us to deal with stress, anxiety, depression. And what's interesting is our mindset obviously has an impact on our physical health as well. It can influence our motivation, our determination to make these changes or set goals in our life. It's just super important. So maybe I know for myself, I have a couple practices around mindset that I try to incorporate every single day. First and foremost, daily Bible reading. It's something, meditation that comes with that, and also prayer. So those are 3 things that I really try to never let a day go by without doing. That helps positively impact my mindset more than anything. Secondly, I like to have a gratitude practice. If I can write down 3 to 5 things that I am grateful for, thankful for every single day, and even just journal sort of my plan for the day or my top 3 things I want to accomplish, those things help my mindset. But let's say we're looking at 80-20. Maybe I only have 10 minutes. And so what am I going to choose to do? I'm probably going to choose to read my Bible for probably 5 minutes. I'm going to meditate for 3, and I'll probably pray for 2. Whereas typically I'd love to have half an hour. I'd love to have a minimum of half an hour, spend 20 minutes reading, spend about 5 minutes meditating, maybe another 5, in reflection and prayer. These things help us to see that just because we don't have the opportunity for today to be perfect, how can I take that principle and not just completely let it go, but use that 80-20 rule to really keep us on that good progressive path. Let's think about nutrition. We know healthy nutrition is the foundation of everything. It truly is. A balanced, healthy diet provides all of us with the essential nutrients that our body needs just to simply function properly. Our diet should include protein, vegetables, whole grains, healthy fats, all those things. We know that nutrition is just so important in fighting chronic disease. It improves our energy and just overall well-being. Well, the reality is maybe nutrition for us is eating super clean, prepping all of our food at home, not eating out or not eating food out of packages. The reality is that going to be possible every moment of every day? It's probably not. So sometimes we just have to pick our battles. What might that look like? Okay, so maybe it looks like I look at the week and it's going to be super, super busy. And so I decide to get pre-cooked proteins. Maybe I buy a couple of rotisserie chickens. Maybe I buy already grilled chicken, a smoked pork shoulder. And maybe that's easy, right? Maybe I do frozen veggies instead of fresh and chopping them up and prepping them myself. Simple things that we can do to still eat good quality food, but realizing it doesn't have to be perfect. The other thing that this can apply to is when we look at quality. One thing that I don't love is looking at the 80-20 rule, like maybe I'm on during the week and the weekends, we just let everything go. That just creates an unhealthy relationship with food. It creates this roller coaster. Don't love that. So what I would love is more so for, 2 out of your 3 meals to be on point. And if one is a little bit off, maybe again, 80% of your meals and snacks on the weekend are normal things that you would eat during the week, normal things that you enjoy that make you feel healthy and vibrant. But when we look at the others, maybe we have some treats, maybe we enjoy some alcohol, maybe we, have some of those fun foods that typically we don't make room for. So simple ways that we can take that, 80% of the time following those healthy, nutritious lifestyle habits and letting go the other 20, right? That's okay. It's all right. The majority of the time we are on point. Let's look at our principle number 3, movement. What's ideal? I mean, ultimately, they say a person needs 150 minutes of moderate to intense exercise per week to maintain optimal health. I should have done the math on that. What's 150 divided by 7? 150 divided by 7. We're looking at 21 minutes a day. Darn is that is manageable, right? That is so manageable. But here's the reality. I'd love to work out 5 hours a week. That's what I'd love. I'd love to dedicate 5 days a week, at least an hour a day, moving my body. What if that's not possible? Can we get in 20 minutes, right? Can we do something super simple? I've got a client who is crushing movement. She just focuses on walking during breaks, walking during lunch. She makes the lap around the hospital. I mean, it's just a fantastic way to, instead of saying, hey, I didn't get to the gym. I didn't get to the gym this morning to lift weights. I didn't get to the pool to swim, but I'm going to go for a 20-minute walk. It can make a huge difference. So something is better than nothing. Okay. Let's talk about relationships. Healthy relationships are super crucial, not only for our mental and emotional well-being, but for really just maintaining those strong relationships between our friends and family. That can help us manage stress. It can build our self-esteem. It can give us a sense of belonging, which we really do need. The other thing that is so key with relationships that I truly have come to appreciate in the last couple of months is how healthy, strong relationships help us get through really difficult times in life. Having those that you can lean on and depend on, no matter where you're at, is so, so key. So what are some principles behind having healthy relationships that we could all incorporate? For myself, something that I want to do or strive to do is have some sort of connection with a friend, family member, client, athlete, someone that that is regularly in my life to have an undistracted just moment where I'm present, I'm focused, and if I can send them a text message, share a card with them, share something that I appreciate about them, or be vulnerable. That is hard for me. It's hard for me to just open up and be really honest about how things are going. If someone says, "How are you doing?" Being honest about that and trying to just be present and not just sugarcoat everything and say, I'm fine, right? It's all good. So for me, those are things that I'm really trying to work on. I'm trying to make time for coffee dates, make time for walks, make time for just relaxing conversation. I am type A, always on a mission, always something to be accomplished. And so this area of our 5 pillars is something that I really personally have to focus on, because if left to my own devices, I probably would have very poor relationships because I'm so focused on accomplishing tasks that I need to accomplish. So, something simple, maybe it's a 3-minute conversation with someone that you love. Maybe it's a quick text message to a friend or family member about something that you appreciate about them. It doesn't have to be the 20-minute walk or the date night or whatever. It can be something simple. If we take that 80-20 principle and apply it to that, again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to be all in, but we absolutely can be something, which is better than nothing, right? Okay. So let's take a look at sleep. We know how important getting enough sleep is. It's essential for our physical, for our mental health. We know lack of sleep can create fatigue, irritability, and it can really make that brain fog set in. It can make it so difficult to concentrate. So how do we apply this 80-20 principle to sleep? Perhaps we look at the week and we realize, oh man, okay, I have to fill in. I'm coaching 3 super early classes. Maybe I've got a couple late nights because I've got some late night meetings, or I've got some sporting events, or whatever it is, looking at the week and saying, okay, so this is going to be a less than ideal option or week for sleep. So what do we do? All right, I'm going to stick to the basics. I'm going to do my best to get in bed by 10:30 each night. And although I maybe prefer to wake up and have a really good morning routine and all these things, maybe I'm going to forgo a little bit of that morning routine because I maybe was not able to get to bed at such a decent hour. So it's just tweaking. It's just setting those little things that you can adjust, instead of like, well, just because I can't get 7 hours of sleep, I might as well just stay up and scroll Facebook for 2 hours and get 5. Let's not do that. That's not going to be helpful. A little bit goes a long way. Maybe the best thing that we do is we say, okay, I'm not going to be on my screens. Like my goal, because this week is going to be so crazy, I'm just going to not be on my screens before I go to bed. That's a commitment that I'm willing to make, right? Maybe it's, I'm going to commit to not drinking caffeine after 2. That's going to positively impact my quality of sleep, along with that, stepping away from screen time. And so focusing on those things. Perhaps, time of sleep has decreased, but quality of sleep can increase. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps you guys to understand not only that 80-20 principle when it comes to our 5 pillars, but that just because life isn't perfect, it can't be great. Focusing on these things and just really doing our best to lean into the basics, no matter how crazy things get, really can be helpful. Thanks again for tuning in.